Have you ever wanted to recreate an anime scene that just speaks to your soul on an emotional level? That was me a few days ago watching MakeIne, or Too Many Losing Heroines on Crunchyroll. Hi, my name is Data Fragments, and sorry to say, but this is not a dedicated how-to video. Rather, it's about going on a fantastic adventure together and watch me improve my skills. I won't spoil the anime, so don't worry. But I will say that I didn't expect the anime to be extremely relatable and visually well animated, nor did I expect to see healthy ways to deal with difficult problems with all parties involved. Please watch it if you can. There was a particular scene that had such a huge emotional impact on me. This twilight cumulonimbus cloud with one of the characters standing in front of it, trying very hard to hold it together. And I realized I never learned how to draw clouds, especially to create an atmosphere. So, I started drawing from nothing. So, how did I get from this to this? First, since I knew nothing about drawing or painting clouds, I looked around for tutorials and came across two particularly helpful resources. They gave me basic understandings of techniques required for making realistic clouds. The way to make them is by blending layers of a few colors. Now, this sounds easy enough, especially for those who are used to painting. However, I never learned painting or blending techniques, especially digitally. As a kid, I grew up thinking I'd draw monochromatic manga for a living on paper, so I focused on illustration, line art, and using halftones. The best I could do was smudging pencil with my finger. Needless to say, I had to do a few practice sketches to get used to the techniques. I forgot to record the first attempt, but this is what I got in the end. I think what I did wrong here was I blended everything when I should have left some hard edges. If you look at the reference picture, the artist somehow made their cloud look realistic, but not overly blended. There are distinct strokes in the cloud as if no blending was used. Of course, adding auxiliary clouds would have made it come together better. But the thing that irks me is the main cloud in the anime doesn't appear to be completely dark anywhere either. So I tried again, this time hitting record. Then I realized I had an extra layer of difficulty. I've been learning how to paint daytime clouds where they're mostly white with touches of gray. But the cumulonimbus cloud in MakeIne had the sun behind it during twilight hours, making the cloud almost inverted where the darker shades are more prominent. To top it off, subtler parts like this is harder to imagine when the sun isn't hitting them directly. I thought, okay, we got this. I just have to play around with it and see what happens. I don't have to be perfect to practice here. We're learning. What I didn't notice was that there was a built-in cloud tool. It looked more like smoke, but it does have characteristics that can be layered upon to make it more cloud-like. I read from McLellan's website that it's good to practice with their basic round brush provided in all art programs. I imagine it's to reduce the reliance on custom brushes in case someone doesn't have their usual setup, or employers will be more inclined to hire someone that knows how to do things with basic tools, maybe in the event of an emergency. So without blending everything and adding a bit more clouds on the inside and around the cumulonimbus, it looked even worse than before. As my mom called it, it looked like a very strange cauliflower. She was impressed with the first try. Third time's the charm, and I have a good feeling about this.
What's today's date? Is it the 28th today?
Today is the 29th. What's the plan?
I am going to go to work. Well, I'm going to get a coffee. Then I'm going to go to work. And then something world domination.
Oh, I meant your plan for today.
Oh, after work?
Yes, actually, sorry. Your work doesn't count as a day.
That's funny. It feels like 10 hours of it, but all right.
I just drew a dick in the clouds. Alright.
I'm surprised you're telling me this is your first time drawing a dick in the clouds?
Actually, yes.
Wow. I'm proud of you. Is cloud drawing really its own thing?
Yes, it is. And I think I went on ultra hard mode because sunset, twilight times are the hardest, apparently.
Well, the bigger the challenge, the more you learn.
Yeah. This time I added some rim light to the edges of the cloud where it's close to the light source.
I just wanna be the best that I can. Not call it anyone else. Not falling into a rain. Just like you think I would do. I just wanna spend some time with myself. I'm not texting anyone else. I'm not falling for someone else. Yes, I come back. 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 I just wanna be the best that I can. Not call it anyone else. Not falling into a rain. Just like you think I would do. I just wanna spend some time with myself. I'm not dating anyone else. Not falling for someone else. Just like you think I could do. I don't wanna stay unless you're giving me some space.
I also added a vapor trail from a plane on the left and wispier clouds closer to the horizon. I thought to myself, why can't it be perfect, just like from the anime? And then I realized, just like how clouds are imperfect and ever-changing, so too was my will to draw more clouds. I think I spent a long time learning and exploring clouds at this point, so I moved on to putting a character there and calling it a good enough job. Instinctually, I ended up drawing Data. One of these days, I should include some older characters of mine or make new characters. But I gave him a different jacket. Still techwear though. Since I've always had a goal to mix anime and manga with furry, I felt like giving Data a human face and adding human ears. Eventually I'll have stories where it's natural for humans and furries to coexist on the same page, but for the sake of this illustration, I made Data slightly more human-like. You know, growing up, animal ears and tails are kind of normal in manga and anime. Since the main focus of the illustration was the cloud, I kept Data simple. I wanted the overall feel and emotion to be balanced. However, unlike the more melancholic events from the anime, I tried to make it a little happier and relaxed. Have you ever felt those times when the sun is setting over the park or hill, the wind caressing your face, and you ultimately felt at peace? Those small moments I try to enjoy, especially because I don't get to go out as often as I did when I was a kid. I can't even see the sky from my window. I try portraying that exact feeling of peace and enjoyment. All in all, I'm kind of proud to end up with this illustration. Although it isn't a one-to-one quality comparison to the original anime, I feel like it captured the overall feeling I intended. Hopefully, this little spur-of-the-moment drawing inspired you in your endeavors. What did you think? Please comment below. And at the end of it all, at the very least, I've learned how to draw clouds, one step at a time.